First of all, thank you all for being here, and also thank you for the organizers to organize this wonderful event here in Oslo. I'm very happy to be here. So in this presentation, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the people. The people who are living in our cities and the people who are very frustrated often with what they see around them, and how we can perhaps change the narrative and the story about cities and architecture around the world. So hence the title, Changing Architecture One Video at a Time. So, yeah, everybody wants beauty. I think that's clear enough. And many people think that they are alone in that they are, well, I must be crazy because I want beautiful buildings around me. And in society, it seems to be not like a thing that's talked about often. And people think it's too expensive, it's impossible. But actually, those who think that they are alone, they are with many, and their wishes are shared with many others. So I think, I started making videos about architecture and urbanism a couple of years ago, and the second video about Le Plaisir Robinson, it completely blew up, and I think it has now like 2.9 million views, which is insane for one of the earlier videos. I think this is also a very strong sign that something is brooding under the surface, and some people, or many people, are actually very unhappy. And when they see a story that inspires them, they will react. And then there's other videos, like the Kayala video, also did very well in Poundbury, all over 1 million. And in the comments, you read a lot of very interesting stories about how they never knew about these projects, and wow, is this possible, you know? And it kind of infuriates them as well, because to see if this is possible, then why am I not getting this around me? So a little introduction. My name is Ruben from the Aesthetic City, and I started making podcasts and videos a couple of years ago to show what, well, a lot of people in this room are doing, because this information wasn't really getting out there. So the big question is, for me, is like, who will define the architectural and urban debate in the 21st century, and that will determine what defines the architectural debate in the 21st century. So we need to see, how are we going to change the story that is being told everywhere? Well, there's two visions of progress, and I think one is towards, well, happy, healthy humans, and building on existing knowledge, and the other one is just change for change's sake. As long as it's different, it's better. And I think that we have kind of disconnected from the first version of actual progress that actually leads to improvement instead of just changing things. Change isn't always positive. And there's a lot of other ideas that have been installed in the collective mind. For example, that we only can build one type of architecture that is fit for our time. There's only one way of building that is acceptable, and otherwise it's outdated. It's not okay. Beauty is subjective. We know it all, and we don't have the skill anymore, etc., etc., etc. The list of myths is endless, and they're exactly those. They're ideas that are not necessarily true. We basically have been sold lies, and now people are finally finding out. We are being told that because things are being built that are nicer. Well, this is a very extravagant example, of course. I think Le Plaisir Robinson. And on the left is what we see here in the Nordic countries. And of course it is, well, pissing people off. And people are especially pissed off when they discover that there is a choice. So I thought it's time to delete the myths, and I think, the question is how to do that. So I think it is mostly to show there is a valid alternative, just showing, look, we can do this, we can build differently. And that is what the Aesthetic City is for. So video content about new traditional architecture and good urbanism, and also podcasts. And now we have, we have just a bit over 185,000 subscribers, but it needs to increase a lot, of course. Because social media is the greatest opportunity ever. Before social media, you could only reach a wide audience with expensive media, like the newspapers and billboards, and now we have easy and fast ways to reach the masses. And before social media, it was very easy to gatekeep information. Because yeah, if you don't get printed in the newspaper, nobody is going to know about you. So bad luck to you, traditional architect. But today the gates have been opened because the internet has finally allowed us to get out there, and with social media it is possible to tell stories to a very wide audience. And we see ideas just, well, spread. So it's about opening eyes, and for many it's big realizations. They are not crazy, they're not alone, and building beautifully is still possible. That's a very big one. Like some people didn't know it was still possible, and that building ugly is a choice, and that is what angers most people, that we choose for things that hurt us. And our role is, well, kind of showing a different narrative, hopefully inspiring action, like the video about the architecture uprising, which led to a lot of new chapters starting. Not all of them sustainable, but still some movement. Hopefully to support grassroots movements and to dispel myths, which are very common. But of course, yeah, we need to grow responsibly and stay bipartisan and apolitical, because otherwise, boom, if you get political, it gets very ugly very quickly. So the goal is basically just to grow, and I think that is the most important thing. But another goal, I think, yeah, I added some slides which didn't make it in here, but is to also, I think, educate. So it's to grow and to educate people, and yeah, for that purpose we have also a new initiative. So let's change the world. But I have, yeah, some little things. So we're also starting an academy, kind of an introductory, online, on-demand academy to introduce a very large part of the population who is interested and wants to do something, but doesn't have the time or the money to go to a summer school, because you need to travel somewhere and it's a high tuition fee, and it's a bit cumbersome. Or if you want to really study it and you want to go to Notre Dame, well, it's a high tuition fee. It's not always easy for the, let's say, the masses to also learn about it. So I try to fill that gap with a very, let's say, a very attractive and, yeah, entertaining and, yeah, introductory course on urban or traditional urban design, just to introduce people to some of the main concepts. So then they get a first taste, and hopefully a lot of them will then go into the ecosystem, will do summer schools, and will look for other opportunities, like going to maybe Notre Dame or some masters here in NTNU, and hopefully even to also train them in how they can be better advocates. Because why not teach them how to organize a counter-proposal, or how to organize, maybe even set up a summer school. So there's all these opportunities in offering an education platform also for the wider audience on the internet. So I think we have only just started using the possibilities that the internet afford us. So if you want to learn more, here's some contact information. I also want to briefly call Bart to the stage to talk about a design competition happening in Berlin, which he's organizing. So I think, I'm not sure where the microphone is. Hope it works.
Check. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, we have a lot in the pipeline for growing the movement, growing the community. That's the focus. So you know, these counter proposals and design competitions, there's a lot of them around, and we encourage you all to just try and join some of them. And if you go to our website, you will find a beautiful new competition for designing a square, and it can be any style you want. You can take some inspiration, of course, from Berlin and the area around, and make it something very pleasant, like the most beautiful square you can imagine. And there's very nice prizes, up to 1,500 euros, and a beautiful book, and access to the Aesthetic City Academy. So I think that's pretty much worth it to use some of your spare time on vacation or whenever you feel like drawing.
So participate.
And keep drawing, keep inspiring, keep growing the community on your own.
Yeah.
And
if you have any questions about the academy, just walk up to me. I had a QR code on screen, but yeah, it's I can always share the information personally. So, and you will also find it if you go to the website. So, thank you all so much for your attention, and have a great rest of your time here in Oslo.